Hello, hello. How is everyone? I'm good. I just got in from work a few minutes ago. We were all laughing because I called it a nice, gentle Wednesday. But then it popped off and it went crazy, as it always does. We had a nice slow start, and then all the reservations were at the same time. So then it just went insane. It's like you wish they could it just was like evenly spread out and everybody got the same amount of attention, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. So I had I don't know, everything was all at once. I had like a nice 11 top, but then I was getting their drinks situated right as I was having another table sit down, and I saw that they were sitting there wondering is anyone coming to get us? And I'm like, ah! If I could only figure out how to be omnipresent. Otherwise it was just really fun and chill, and it's starting to cool down a little bit here, so that's been very exciting. We've been I don't know, insane level Beatlemania excited for summer, or for summer to be over. Not so much for summer to be over, but for fall to start, because we're all big fall sluts around here. But we're here tonight to talk about our midweek reading, and I'm liking what I'm seeing, although we haven't gotten out of the swords, you guys. Still more swords, and even though it's kind of a distressing card to get started, I think it's overall a good message. It's kind of a continuation of our message the other day, when we were coming out of our heartache and toil. So we started with Three of Swords, which is a card that signifies pain, heartbreak, upset, people who have become estranged, or someone, maybe people who've had an argument or a miscommunication, but either way there's pain because of separation is being caused. Generally speaking, the Three of Swords is about pain and heartbreak. To follow that, we got Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is a very independent thinker. She is many times single, childless, or divorced or widowed. This could be a man too. It's not really gender specific so much as it is about the energy. The Queen of Swords is also very good at communicating. She's very witty and sharp and intelligent and quick. But she can also be, cut you down with her words. She can also be, she doesn't suffer any fools, so she's very straightforward, tells it like it is. Very observant, very keen, very smart. Hard to get one past the Queen of Swords, because this woman has had a lot of life experience that she's learned from, and the pain that she has been through has given her wisdom, and it's given her strength of character, and it's given her humor, and it's also caused her to have to strengthen her boundaries and become very sovereign in herself, and learn to master the mind, the realm of the mind, and not let her thoughts get the better of her, but also not let her emotions get the better of her either. The Queen of Swords is very balanced with her thought realm and her emotional realm. She can consult both. And I think that's what gives her wisdom, right? Is that she can take her experience and then consider her thoughts and feelings and put them in their right place, and observe them in context without judging them too much, or without falling into their into the illusion of the thoughts, being able to observe them, to see if they're even necessarily valid. Sometimes our mind runs away with us. And then our final card is Eight of Pentacles, which is the card of it's prolonged hard work. It's a project that takes a long time. The Eight of Pentacles is the apprentice who's refining their craft. They're becoming a master at what they do, but it is a process that they know is going to take a long time, and it's about investing incrementally every day, consistently, in themselves, and devoting themselves and to that commitment, to their to their good works, to their craft, or to their spiritual practice. And I think that these cards grouped together are telling us that all the pain and the difficulty that we've come through, all that heartache, all that heartbreak, has really broken us open and given us an expanded consciousness and a grounded awareness and an intuitive sense, you know, and empathy, you know, that we wouldn't have had. This pain, even though it has broken our hearts, I think that it has made us more beautiful, more deep, more understanding, more caring. We've learned to have stronger boundaries. You know, we've learned from this pain. We've learned to embody the transformation that it has brought, you know, it has offered us. Like, pain can either make you really sour and bitter, and it can break you down and lock you up and close you off to life. Or it can kind of make you invincible and open you up and make you feel even greater expanses of joy, of love, of passion. But along with that comes the depths of sorrow and pain. If you want to feel in a vivid way, you don't get to choose which feelings you get to feel and which ones you get to numb. You know, it's a sacrifice, it's a give and take. But I think that these painful experiences have really taught us, and they've shaped us, and they've made us into kinder, wiser, more spiritually and emotionally generous people. So I think that don't be too hard on yourself as lessons come back around, because it's not like we get this and we nail it and we're done, one and done. You know, this is a process of unfolding. It's a process of becoming, you know, and there's no rush and there's no finish line. There's no finish line to life except for death. So don't feel like you're behind, or that, like, if you have to go around and, like, you know, like, look at a lesson again, or, you know, go through something in another way, going into a deeper level within yourself with it. Don't beat yourself up. You know, it's all part of the process, right? It's something that we expect. We just keep expecting to show up and keep with it and stick with it, right? This is about perseverance, you know. It's a spiritual muscle we develop. So yeah, guys, I think that our message is really just comforting us, letting us know that the universe sees that we have allowed all of our life experiences to really fuel a transformation within us that has made us better people for it and wiser for it. And we are starting to figure out how to use that wisdom as we go forward and as we create this new life that we are, you know, up leveling into. This big next chapter can be so different because we're different people, but we're learning how to be these different people, right? It's like we still kind of have to overcome, like, all the habits from the past, habitual thoughts, habitual assumptions, habitual, like, things that we prefer. You know, maybe we just haven't tried something else, or, you know, maybe we just, like, fall back on these certain things. So we're getting over habits, we're getting over our reflexiveness to respond in our default setting, and it takes a while. So don't beat yourself up. You really have grown so much and come so far and changed so much. But just remember now that, you know, when tests come up and when temptations come up, don't forget all of the pain it took you to arrive at this wisdom, to arrive at a place where you're, you know, comfortable with yourself, with your sovereign, you know, you're sovereign with yourself. You have your kingdom in order. Think about how much work, blood, sweat, and tears it took to get you here. Every time you make a decision where you might be tempted to do something self-defeating or self-sabotaging, or go back in that same old pattern again, same old pattern that's going to bring you pain, just remember, if you do what you did, you'll get what you got, right? And we can't expect different results if we're doing the same thing over and over again. That's the definition of insanity, right? So use your wisdom. Be gentle on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. This is all part of it. This is what you're right where you're supposed to be, right? Mistakes and all, imperfections and everything, right? So keep trying, keep the hopes up, keep putting your best foot forward, and take your time. Don't rush yourself. We're relaxing into the moment. We're allowing ourselves the space to take a breath when things happen before we answer, before we impulsively react. We're pausing. We're taking a minute to consider with our wisdom so that we can use our free will and actually make something with it, right? Oh, another message that I wanted to point out was that whatever painful experience that you went through, it has taught you so much. And now it's like you're figuring out how to communicate about it and talk about it in a way that reflects on your healing and your experience and what you've learned from it. And you're figuring out, you're going to take that pain and you're going to make something with it. You're going to create something better with it. You're going to transmute that and put something out into the world, or use that in your life to make your life better and to make other lives better around you, right? We don't want all of this to have come in vain, right? Everything that we experience is valuable. Everything that we experience, even the challenges. And I think that's part of our reading today, is that we're really starting to, like, now that we're on the other side of this, we can look back in hindsight and really appreciate all the lessons, all the experiences, even though they were painful, even though they were uncomfortable. They've made us into people that we wouldn't change it for the world, right? And they've given us a perspective that we wouldn't have had otherwise. So I'm feeling good about this. I'm feeling like this is just like a nice encouraging message that, we're moving forward. We're figuring out something beautiful to make out of all of this, these painful experiences. We're figuring out how to handle the situation. We're figuring out what needs to be done to move forward. And we are able to really observe the situation and starting to make sound judgments, and not maybe making judgments based on the pain, or the suffering, but judgments based on how love healed and transformed this pain, right? So having come through it, and having healed the thing, and then also being able to appreciate it with gratitude, like appreciate it so much that you wouldn't have even changed it. You'd go through it again, right? All right, you guys, I love these cards. They're so pretty. This is the Dreaming Way Tarot. I think she's a Korean artist. So we had Three of Swords, Queen of Swords, and we have Eight of Pentacles. All right, you guys, I hope you have a good night. I'm going to eat my Cajun beans and rice. Day 2 is often the best because the pot's been sitting and you're not sick of it yet. Of course, I think I could eat beans and rice for like 2 weeks without getting sick of it. I would get sick of it, like the pot goes bad before I get tired of eating it. I love it. All right, y'all, I hope you have a good night, a good day, and a good one whenever it is that you're watching this out there in the world. Be good. Ciao.